The last week just gone was incredibly stressful at work, but today, Friday, I'm at entirely the other end of the life spectrum to work. I'm in Penzance. I'm sitting on the seawall just out the back of the station, contemplating my first pasty in preparation of riding the West Kernow Way over the next few days. The sky is grey, the weather is blustery and drizzling. It's very fresh and very beautiful, and I'm very happy to be alive. Let's go and do some pedalling. I remember the Penleigh lifeboat disaster. I don't really remember it. I mean, it was only a couple of days after my 4th birthday, so I was just a nipper. But I remember my dad telling me about it and being quite shaken by it all. I mean, it was horrible thing. Worse things happen at sea and all that. You know, in a world where the word hero gets thrown around very easily, I don't think people talk about the lifeboat crews enough. Proper heroes. Heroes who don't get paid to be heroes. Today probably shouldn't even be called day one, really, because I have cycled less than 10 miles and now I'm already pitched up. It's not even 2 o'clock. I had meant to come down much later in the day, and so I booked my campsites accordingly, but in the end the only train from Reading with space for a bike turned out to be the first train at 7 o'clock in the morning. So here I am, ride done, day barely started, and I thought that was quite cool actually, because I was quite looking forward to having a little wander about. But I pitched up in what looks, smells, feels, sounds and just is very much like rain. I think it's actually, it's easing off, it's going to be fine. So I'm going to go for a little wander, explore the local area, take a little walk down to Lamona Cove and look at the sea. Cornwall's always had this reputation as being a place for artists, and it seems like this little Lamona place is no exception. There was even an exhibition happening in the village hall, but I'm already travelling pretty heavy as always, and the last thing I need to be doing is buying oil paintings on day one. So I pressed on, walked down to the Cove, gazed out to sea for a while, always a pleasure, and then I'm just walking along the coast path now, foraging blackberries, interacting with bugs, and you can see why it's a place that's popular with artists. You know, the coast is bright and open, the little lanes are dark and mysterious. When the wind blows, everything is stormy and violent and moving, and when it's calm, everything is really soft and peaceful and friendly. There's crazy shapes everywhere in the rocks and the hills. It's an amazing place. But I am starting to get hungry now. A man cannot live on blackberries alone, and it turns out that my campsite has a little Thai takeaway wagon attached to it. So I'm heading back that way now to see if I can get myself some authentic Cornish Thai food. Camp now. I'm stuffed full of Thai food, and I've just come to investigate this weird monolith in the field behind my tent. Does anyone remember the movie Rawhead Rex? I do. So I know that stones like this almost always have a vengeful demon trapped underneath them. So I'm going to be careful. I am pleasingly tired after a day of pleasant walks and pleasant rides, but what I'm mostly thinking about this afternoon is lifeboats. It's weird, that memory of my dad telling me about the Penlee disaster is surprisingly poignant for something that happened to me 28 years ago or something. And I was sitting looking out over the sea, and I was thinking how beautiful it is and how inspiring it is and all that, and it is, but it's also really scary, the sea. It's big and it's hungry, and I can imagine how easy it would be to get lost and helpless out there. And those guys, 8 of them I think, they dropped everything to go out into a hurricane to help strangers, to risk their lives doing it, and in that instance to all end up losing their lives doing it. And they didn't have to do it, it wasn't their job, they're all volunteers. The skipper of that lifeboat was the local pub landlord, I think. That's pretty amazing, I reckon. And I'm not a fisherman, I'm not a sailor, I don't even really like boats, so I'm hopeful and confident that I'll never have to call on their services. But I think I'm going to chuck them a few quid when I get back from this ride, just because, I don't know, I've just been thinking about it a lot this afternoon, and I thought I'd bring it up because from time to time some of you have been kind enough to chip in to support this channel through my Ko-fi page. And I just thought that if this video was inspiring you to feel financially charitable, then maybe instead of giving it to me this time, nip over to the RNLI webpage and see if they've got a donate button. They probably have, I haven't looked. It seems like a good cause, you know. I appreciate bravery and selfless kindness and acts of valour and all those sort of positive human traits that seem to be quite well summed up by the lifeboats. So yeah, let's do some charity stuff, bring it on, keep the demons under the rocks and the lifeboats on the waves. So anyway, apparently the weather's going to clear up a bit tomorrow. It's going to be a nicer day, though still windy, I believe. So the ride proper starts tomorrow, really, a whole day in the saddle. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get this show on the road.